So a lot of people think that gangs are just people that get together that want to run riot on the street and hurt people. But no, the fact of the matter is we were friends. We all grew up in the same area. We all knew, like either my brother knew their brother, and then we all became friends and stuff like that. And then it's like, if I had an issue with someone, I would make a phone call, like, and tell my friend, and then she's telling her friend, and then they're all coming down, and yeah, there we are. We're here in a gang. So it wasn't something that was by choice. It was just something where it's like, sometimes you can be a product of your environment and not even realize. And when there's so much of you, like there was 30 of us. So when we're going down to Mitcham Funfair or we're going down to Streatham Common Park, we're all calling each other like, oh, you going country show, and we're all going and we're going 30 of us strong. So then from people that are not in with us, from the outside, what does it look like? It looks like we're a massive gang of girls coming down to cause havoc. So like I said, it wasn't something that was planned, but when a group of you maybe come from the same environment and have the same mentality, it just kind of falls into that. And then it's like, let's make a name for ourselves. And then we just kind of ride the coat hangers, and it happens. And then you lose control. You definitely lose control. And then when you see bodies dropping constantly around you, you think, wow, wait, this is not what I signed up for. When some of my friends are in mental health facilities, I'm like, whoa, yeah, this is not what I signed up for. I want to travel the world. I want to make an impact. I want to live. Yeah, when people say you only live once, that's a lie. You live every day. You die once. Massive difference. So if you're asking, do I take medication? Nope, don't do drugs. It's not good. No, so for me, I think it's mental. So if I am in a space where I feel uncomfortable, I'm totally out of there. Like today when I was coming to you guys, I felt it a little bit, but then the impact, the goal overshine that. So like I said, I'm very headstrong, and poetry is something I always go back to. Poetry is something that I do on a daily basis, so that is my expression. So when we talk about anxiety, I get that people can feel overwhelmed, because I do it too. But if I let it control me, then I'm over. Then I'm over. So no medication. It's just taking that time, that moment to say, okay, you're having your moment, T. Cool. What's the end goal? And I'm back to who I want to be. I read books. At the moment, I'm reading The Alchemist. Have you guys read that? Yeah? Book's kind of dope. I heard that someone done a spoiler and told me the end's a bit crap, so I'm a bit pissed off about that. But I'm reading it and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. So yeah, I just read books. I talk to people smarter than me, because obviously if you're in a room and you're the smartest, you're in the wrong room. So I hope I'm in the right room where I can pick you guys' brains. And I have a lot of people around me that are very educated. And when I talk about education, I mean, they're educated to the school standard and even above that, and they're educated in terms of street smart as well. So someone who I have really, really close around me, is like one of my best friends, is Dr. Mohammed Hashi. He's a Lambeth counsellor. He just became a Lambeth counsellor in 2018. And yet again, gang culture was very prominent in his life too. He was shot. He's the co-founder of Brixton Soup Kitchen. And he's a very, very educated man. So being able to, have him at my beck and call, yet again, is amazing. I can pick his brain. So that's how I educate myself. I don't really watch too much Kardashians and all of that crap. But yeah. And a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts. It's really good. And TED Talks, hopefully I'll get to do one this year. I think the majority of people in that situation is all about trust. So yes, you may want to treat them and they may know better, but it's about talking to them on their level, because sometimes you have to be able to adapt. So it's about saying, look, dude, I'm trying to help you, right? If you want to die, then let me know, but I'm trying to help you, innit? Like, I see what's going on here. Just let me do my job. And most of the time, they'll be like, you know, all right. She's talking sense. Because they're scared. They're scared. You know, they've just gone through a traumatic experience. So, and they find it difficult to trust and difficult to communicate. And you will find a lot of people that are still within this lifestyle are uneducated. And it's not their fault, but you will find that they are uneducated. So yet again, it's about going back to their level and using your knowledge and your skill to be able to adapt to that, to be able to help them. You just got to kind of be honest and bring your intentions to the forefront as well. Say, look, you know, you're in this hospital, so I have to do my job by putting you in the system and doing whatever I need to do, and that is going to alert the police. So you need to, and they're going to come to you and ask you questions. So you need to know what you're going to say. And then they'll be there, lying in their bed thinking, okay, what's my story? But you've done what you needed to do. You was honest with them and you was honest with yourself, and you got your job done. There's a lot of men that are going through depression, anxiety, trauma, and society places something upon them that makes them feel like they cannot express themselves. They cannot say to their bro or say to their sis, yo, I'm struggling at the moment, you know. Can you just be a listening ear? You don't even have to say anything, but I just need to get something out. Now, if you as a guy cannot find someone in your circle or close to you that you can speak to, then something is extremely wrong. Something is extremely wrong. Yeah? You are allowed to cry, you are allowed to have fear, but just find someone that you trust enough to be able to express that to. So that was something that really hit home for me. And that's when I created a spoken word piece that's coming out this year called Help. Heal Everything, Life's Precious. Because a lot of people take life for granted, and we shouldn't. Like I said, we live every day, and we should be living to our true potential. And we should be confiding in people we trust, and we should be finding people we trust so we can confide in. Did you see what I done there? Did you see what I done there? Right? But that's what we should be doing. No, none. Because what you'll find is that a lot of these major youth organizations are getting a lot of money to say they're tackling knife crime, but not actually going to the root cause. So let me tell you something, right? Do you know why breakfast clubs were created in primary schools? Anyone? No? Okay. Breakfast clubs were created not because children or young people wasn't getting breakfast. It's because they wasn't eating dinner the night before. So they was coming to school hungry. So they wasn't having a meal before and they wasn't having breakfast. So that's why breakfast clubs were created. So if you think about parents, right? Parents from poverty backgrounds, right? Single parents are forced to be on, if they got 4 kids or 2 kids, they're forced to be on job seekers allowance or ESA or any type of benefit. But then if they work, they're not going to be earning a lot of money to be able to pay the rent, to be able to, pay all the stuff that they need to pay. So it makes sense for them to stay on benefits to be able to get their rent paid and to be able to feed their kids. And a lot of these parents, these young parents, they're not they got pregnant young. So they kind of didn't finish school. They're not educating themselves. So if you're saying, okay, you need to go and get a job that earns 50K a year to be able to pay your rent, who in their right mind is going to give them a job at 50K and they don't have any education or any work experience or skills? Yeah? So when we talk about public health and we talk about knife crime, the people that are involved in these acts are young people that's come from places and they're products of their environment. So when we look about domestic violence, it's black women are killed at a higher rate than young people are killed by knife crime by their partner. So if a young person is growing up in that volatile environment and they're seeing their dad or their mum's partner beat them, two things is going to happen. They're either going to go out into the world and be great and be advocates and love women and love people, or they're going to turn into that monster. That's just like if you grow up in a household and in that household you've got two parents that are alcoholics or your dad's an alcoholic. It's either you're never going to drink or you're going to be his carbon copy, because children kind of learn what they see. Yeah, they're like sponges. So when we talk about the public health bit of knife crime, they're trying to kill it when it's already there instead of going to the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem is saying, okay, if you grow up in a household where there is domestic violence, why is social services not jumping on this situation at the beginning? Okay? Not everybody will get it. Not everybody will see that there's a problem. But then, how many times are you going to see that how many times are you not going to see that there's a problem? Yeah? And when we talk about knife crime, I see that like the media just says, oh, you know, black gangs, black gangs, black gangs. But there's gangs everywhere. There's gangs everywhere. And yet again, it's still the same situation. It's poverty. It's not having the same opportunities. And I get life isn't fair. Not everybody's going to have the same opportunities. I get it. But the government, the police, they can do more. They can do a lot more. Have you not heard of a system that Boris Johnson put in place for stop and search? Yeah? What do you know about that system?
It's racist.
Okay, what else do you know about that system?
Basically, police can just go up to you, like just if you look like you might have a knife, which basically means like if you're not white, if you're black, they can just stop and search you, which puts you as like already you're a suspect without doing anything wrong.
Correct. Now, I don't see how that's fair. If, for instance, I have a brother that's a big gang leader or drug dealer, and we have the same name, and I'm a boy, and I'm walking on the street, but I go to uni and I do all of these things, why should I be a target? So the people that's paid to protect me is also my enemy then, isn't it? So how do you think that makes a young person feel? And this is not about color, this is not about race, or as much as we try and say that it isn't, but the fact of the matter is, why is that system put in place for people of color? And I hate that word, people of color, black people. Yeah, why? So it is a problem, but I do feel like we need to start looking at the deeper root causes and not just trying to get them when they're 19, when they've stabbed 4 people already, or when they're 16 and they're already carrying a knife. Because some people carry knives for what? Protection. And then some people carry knives because they want to harm people. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think that somebody carrying a knife, that they're carrying it to protect themselves, should just be like disregarded and thrown in jail. I think they should be having those conversations or putting them interventions, because we all know prisons do not rehabilitate anyone. Unless you still think that, you are wrong. Sorry. They do not. we need people from the roads to be in Parliament. We need people that have gone through the trials and tribulations on the road, that has been either a victim or even one day may have been a perpetrator in Parliament, to really sit down with them and say, guys, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You don't. You know, we've got Theresa May running up and down like a God knows what. Bloody hell. We've got Corbyn, I don't know what he's doing. And these are the people that run the country. These are the people that make the decisions. And it's always people at the top making the decisions for people at the bottom, but they've never walked in their shoes. They've never walked in their shoes. It's like when these big organizations saying, yes, you know, we need this for this young person, we need this for this area. But they live in Wales. They live in the suburbs. But they want to say we need this in the ghetto. That's crazy. So that's what we need. We need people that's had lived experiences in Parliament. Maybe 2, you know, spice it up a little bit. You know, make it a bit more diverse and stuff. You know, diversity is key. And I think that will, and give them a bit of influence, because, you know, sometimes they say, yeah, you know, you're the poster boy, but not really give them any real power. But make them have some influence. I think that's a start. I don't think social media should be allowed to be used by anyone under the age of 16. I honestly don't. And I think parents should be really monitoring their children's activities on social media and the pages that they're on. And I think social media should also play a big part in safeguarding young people into viewing like what sites they're viewing and all of these things. But yet again, like if you've got a strong mentality and you know who you are, then social media shouldn't be a problem. It's only for people that don't really know who they are or they're battling with themselves that have an issue with understanding social media. Like, there's no way I can look at, let me see. There's no way I could look at somebody rich, for instance, rich showing off their money and their cars and think, oh, I want to be like them. Because I know who I am. And because probably that stuff's all rented. Reality, that stuff's all rented probably, you know, or you're saying that's your car, it might be your car, but your mum still lives in a council flat. I don't care what's going on with you. But that's because I know who I am. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And you're probably the same. You might look at social media and think, oh, listen, I remember you was in college. Don't try and act now because you've got 15,000 followers. They're probably all bought. Yeah? Like, it's just about knowing who you are and what you want to use social media for. I always knew that if I was going to take my poetry or take my art to the next level, I knew what I wanted it to do. And then I came on social media. I came on social media late. I was still on Twitter. And then I'm seeing my friends post Instagram photos. I'm thinking, what's Instagram? Hold on, everyone's got Instagram. What's that? And then I downloaded it. I downloaded it late. But it's definitely because you have to know who you are so you can't be influenced by these things. And it's definitely important. Guys, good luck on your course, man. Thank you. Guys, just before I go, good luck on your journey. Good luck on your course. The journey is the best part of the destination when you get there. You're all going to be great, and I hope one of you saves me one day. Not from knife crime or anything like that. No, not from any of that.